Bonnie Ghani, everyone. This is Professor Alman Rahh, Professor Emeritus of California State University Africana Studies Department, along with the good doctor and Rasha Key Maskani and our special guest who I'll introduce in a second. But this is the Conscious Corner program that deals with the positive aspects of the African American community, their contributions to the forward flow of our liberation and development as a people, and their contributions in the various forms of human activities that illustrates the best of us as an African people. We are proud to have as our special guest, a special person in my life and friend, one of Compton's greatest athletes, that emerged not only as an outstanding individual, but he's an author now, but as a great athlete in track and in basketball. But he's also a great father and a great a husband to his wife and to the community. Many times in Compton, people focus on a lot of the negativity, but you know, it's just like this is a product that was produced in Compton and rose to the heights of the 1968 Olympics as one of the youngest athletes to be selected to participate in the Olympics, and as a high jumper, jumping 7 feet in those days. And this was before they were jumping backwards and stuff. This was the real high jump. And so we're proud to have him here. And as I said, just all around athlete, all around good brother that had who had dealt with prostate cancer and dealt with dialysis and dealt with a little heart issue, but he has overcome all that. And the title of his book is How I Got Over, a 1968 Olympian. He just a college graduate, excellent in computer technology, and loves to travel. In the book, he said, they say we're getting ready to go somewhere, he'd be the first one to go. And so without further delay, we're gonna let
ready to go.
brother Reynaldo Brown, 1968 Olympian, tell us a little bit more about himself, his family, as well as the things that he got over in his growth and development to be one of our greatest gifts to this, in the city of Compton. So Reynaldo, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to, be on your show today. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Reynaldo Brown, and I'm a high jumper. I was a high jumper at the 1968 Olympic Games at Mexico City. And the unique thing about making that Olympic team, I made it as a junior in high school at Compton High School. When people were saying I was too young, I probably wouldn't make it, wouldn't go far, but I knew that I would, and mainly because I had that drive, and it was something that I wanted to do. I had a dream, and I had a goal, and I had a plan, to get there, and all three worked out for me. And without those three things, in life, or with those three things in life, everybody can kind of go, to the fullest in their life that they want to do if they have those three things. And that's what I had. And, the unique thing about it, I've been wanting to write this book for a long time. I started in 1976. And I wrote the book because of all the traveling I was doing. I wanted to write the book because of all the traveling I was doing as a youngster, and, going all around the world, hitting all 7 continents, and not a dime in my pocket, but I seen the world, through track and field. And, I kind of, after I jumped a while, I kind of wanted to, get a job after jumping. So I went to Hughes Aircraft Company, and I, worked there for about 20 years or so, at Hughes Aircraft in El Segundo. And, and as I was working, people knew that I was a high jumper, and they kept asking me, well, why aren't you going to meets or anything? My supervisor's there, and I told them I was, I wanted to work. They said, well, we want to see you jump. So if you have a meet, let us know. We can work things out. So they worked it out for me. So I was able to jump while working at Hughes Aircraft. And I was grateful for that. And so I kind of put the book aside, and, and I kept thinking about, writing some parts in it. But I never did until around, I don't know, 1982 or so, when I got married to my wife, Carol. She saw it sitting around. She said, "What is this?" I said, "It's a book that I started writing on." She said, "Well, let's get started and do it some more. So anyway, we did it, but we got busy. The Olympic Committee, they kept me busy, which was great, for another, I don't know, 15 years or so. And then again, just before that, the virus came out, COVID-19, we started working on it again. So that was in 2019, and that's when we finished the book. And 2020, we finished it. And so I was, debating what to name it, and, what to put on it. And, my wife, Carol, she did all the editing in the book. I just told her, I just dictated what I wanted to say, and she put it all together. And, and we went from there. We did have sponsors and all, people that promoters, to do the book, but for some reason, where they put it in order for me, because a lot of stuff, went to the front, went to the back, went to the middle, and whatever. So they organized it, and from that point on, everything started rolling. Now the picture that you see on the front, that's me jumping at Mexico City, and so the reason I put that on there, I guess to grab some attention, because people want to know probably how I got over that bar. But the real truth of the story is how I got over my medical problem, and it was through sports that it helped me get over my medical problem, because I had to have, take chances like I did in sports. I had to be patient like I did in sports, and all that happens in real life. So I used everything to get my life better through, going through dialysis, going through prostate cancer, and going through my heart issue. I had 3 blocked arteries, and so I had to get open heart surgery, the whole bit. But each time that I did that, went through those procedures, I stayed positive like I did in track and field, and it really helped me to, track and field really helped my life, in real life, how to go through problems and what have you. And so I continue to, get better. I took my time at getting better. But the crazy thing about it, what made me really write the book too, again, I had many reasons. But again, I'm laying in the hospital. I was at Loma Linda, and I went into emergency that night. I couldn't breathe. And, I was in bad shape, so to speak, the doctors were saying, because I had the prostate problem, I had the heart problem, and I was on dialysis. So I had 3 things wrong with me, maybe 4. And the doctors, they didn't know where to start, So before they took me up to a room that night, one of the doctors said, "Wow, I hope this guy is still here with us tomorrow." And I was not in any pain or anything, but I guess they figured I was in pain because of the, things I was going through. But I felt like I did now, no pain, but, I knew I had a lot of things wrong. And anyway, they took me up to the room, and when I heard one of the doctors say, "I hope this guy is still with us tomorrow," I said, "I'm not going nowhere. What's going on? I feel good." So anyway, Saturday morning, the next morning, I went in Friday night. The next morning, the doctors, they came into my room, and they looked at me because I was sitting up. And they said, "Oh, you the same guy we saw last night?" I said, "Yeah." And one of the doctors said, "Well, you ought to write a book." Yeah, I already started my book, so I decided to, just jot down everything that I went through, and mainly because what I was going through at that time, it all happened in 2004. I went on dialysis. And when I was on dialysis, nobody had any answers for me. I asked questions and nobody can give me an answer. The doctors was just saying, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And I'm sitting in a room with 20 people, on dialysis. And a lot of times I would see people, people were missing from their chairs. And that was a bad sign, because when that happened, that mean that maybe that person passed on. But they never told us. And anyway, I figured it out, and I got the news that those people died. It was like 10 that died. So I said to myself that I didn't want to go out like that. So I said I was going to try to, do things that they couldn't give me an answer. So I was just going to try to do my own thing, like I did in track and field. I take chances. So that's when I started taking chances, doing things. And I kept hearing voices, in my head. It felt like it was coming down from God. He'd say, try this, do that. And in my book, I was saying that, I'm not a doctor, but I did try this. And I only did it because people, didn't have answers. So my thing was to kind of jot down everything that I did and tell people that I took these chances. They may work for you, but they may not, but they work for me. And I want to let them know that, you can do different things in life, but, the doctors, they, have, their own way of doing things, and it's by the book. And I understand that, so when I did things and I started getting better, then they thought that maybe I was taking all the medicines that they was giving me. And I told them no, because I had never taken an aspirin before. And they was trying to fill me up with all these pills and what have you. And I said, well, let me try something different. So I started walking, and I noticed that nobody in dialysis was walking. But the, crazy thing about dialysis is it's a thing, where they go in, they take your blood out, you sit on this machine and it cleans your blood, but it takes it out and put it in. But you be so tired when you come home that you don't want to do nothing. And I know that Amon, you went through this, and you've probably seen it happen.
I'm still doing it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. And so I had to take that chance, getting up walking. But I asked the doctors before, I said, should I get up and walk? They said, no, we want you to rest. And I said, well, heck, how can I get better? I started thinking about sports again. I said, I can't get my muscle tone back or, feel good if I'm resting, because all I'm doing is deteriorating. And I said, I'm going to try to walk and, push myself through it like I did, when I first started sports. I didn't know a thing about what I was doing, but the coach kept saying, you got hurt, push through it. So I pushed through it, through dialysis and whatever else I was going through. And like I said, it all worked for me. And I was grateful for God for, sending me all these different messages. And my thing was not to do, I had something come in my head that said, don't do half, don't do 3/4 or whatever. It just said do a fourth, so a little bit. So I just do a little bit, but I was still so tired, I couldn't walk from, the bedroom. It's a, 10 by 12 room or whatever. I couldn't walk to the next wall without, getting tired. So somebody told me to grab a chair and walk with it, so when I get tired, sit down. And that's exactly what I did. I walked from, wall to wall or room to room or whatever. When I got tired, I sat down. I didn't go any further. I didn't say, okay, I'm going to take one more step, because, it might have been my last step. So I stopped. And you got to listen to your body, and like I say, you just got to, just be willing to stop when you say stop. And I just stopped. And then I started getting better each day. It took, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks before I can get past that 12 by 12. But I had the patience, like I did trying to learn to high jump. It wasn't easy. It was a tough thing. But, I knew how to, pace myself. And through everything that I went through, I just paced myself, and it worked for me. And like I tell people, it worked for me, but it may not work for you because you might have more things wrong. The only thing I had was just, the prostate. I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have, other issues. I had heart problems. But like I said, the only way you can get that better is you got to move. And I move lightly, not heavy or not doing, trying to, get back to where I was or anything. I knew it's going to be a slow process. And it all worked. And, I was getting happy about, the way my body was, coming back. And then I started, going outside walking. But I carried my chair with me. So if I walked down the block and I got tired, I sat down. And then I came back. But my goal was to walk 3 miles. And I was wondering how I was going to do that. But something told me just be patient. And so I did that for about a month, walking maybe 1 block or half a block. And then, stretching it out a little bit, stretching it out until I got to, 1 mile. And then I do that for another month or so until I got to 3 miles, and it worked for me. And I can see the difference. The doctors thought the medicines which they was giving me was helping. But a lot of times, like I said, they told me that I had to take these medicines because everybody on dialysis, this is what they do. But if you don't have what all these other people have, then there was no sense in my opinion. Like I said, it worked for me. No sense in taking it because I didn't have diabetes and I didn't have, other issues that other people had. And it worked for me. So, and then I told Carol, I said, everything that I went through, I said, I asked her to do an update letter. And everything that I went through, I wanted my nephews, uncles, and cousins, to know what I did to, get better. And if they had prostate problems, I gave them the signs of what, may happen to them to, get help. Because when I was coming up, my father and uncles and, grandfather and all them, they didn't say anything about, prostate. If you can't pee, that you got a problem. So everybody kept it a secret. But I wanted, this generation below me to understand what's going on in their life. So, and we did that for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, Carol wrote up update letters to everybody, and everybody was enjoying it. And I was getting a lot of calls from people that, went through something. And, if I could help them, I would give them my advice. And I always told them that, it worked for me, and you'd probably have to find a way for something to work for you, because our bodies are different. And I know an athlete's body is way different than, just a person who comes in and never done any, sports or anything. Our bodies heal different. And the doctors, they didn't believe it because every time I come in, when I was taking dialysis, if my, one of the points was my breathing and my heart rate, it went down like 44, 45. And the minute it went down to that, then they would rush and want to put the oxygen in my, nose or what have you. And I said, well, I'm not having a tough time breathing or anything. I'm doing okay. Well, this is what we always do in dialysis when he goes past 50 or something, because the machine will make buzz or whatever. And I told them I didn't need it. And finally they started believing me. And they wouldn't give me the oxygen. They kept saying, oh, yeah, he's an athlete. We're going to treat him different. And that's what they have to do. Everybody's not the same. So, if you can get away with different, things that they ordinarily do, then you should do it, in order, in my opinion, again, to make yourself better. Because, a lot of times, like I say, they just do things by the book. And I did get a kidney transplant, and when I got my kidney transplant, I guess my creatinine was supposed to go down to, I don't know, 1.8 2 or something. But mine stayed at 0.2 when I got the kidney transplant. They thought it was really something wrong. And what they found out was they never treated an athlete, 6'6" or better, or 6'5" and better, because they always put kidneys in, and they said, well, if we can chop, they got to the point where my doctor, he really had to, treat me different. He had to make a new chart, by making the numbers different from a guy 6 feet, or 6'2", or 6'3", because for some reason our bodies are different, and it's, your heart rate is going to be different, your kidney creatinine and all that stuff is going to be different. And he finally found out that, and he started telling another doctor, yeah, we got to treat him different. He's an athlete, and we never treated anybody, 6'5" or better. And they told me that, just jokingly, I have a real good doctor, and he said, well, if we probably cut 6 inches off your leg, then your creatinine would drop, and which was true, because like I said, they had never really treated, a person. They never put a kidney to what they said at Loma Linda. Well, those doctors didn't, never treated a person and put a kidney at lower than, that 6'5" or better. So it's just different things that I went through, and different things that I wanted people to know how I got over, so not getting over the high jump part, but getting over some of the things that I went through medically. And it really, I'm satisfied with it. And I started playing basketball again. Actually, I was playing basketball with 3 block artists. I was running, we was running whole court, half court, and they kept wondering, how are you doing all this and you're not winded? I couldn't give them an answer, but they, started taking, pictures and all that, and they found out that new veins and what have you was growing, inside the chest. So blood was, I don't know if they call it a miracle or just, God, it just happens. But anyway, they found out that new veins was growing in my heart, and it was, bringing blood into me, and it didn't bother me. But before I got my kidney transplant, they said I'd have to have the open heart surgery, to clear up all that stuff. So anyway, I went on and had the open heart surgery in June of 2016. And then I had the transplant in December 7th of June 16th also. So it was like a day after my birthday. So it was like a birthday gift, getting kidney transplant. And from that point on, I've just been, really feeling good. And, things just worked out for me.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we also have the co-host of Tarbay, and he's the former vice principal and outstanding educator and coach football at Linwood, and I believe he'll tell you all the other schools he participated in. And I don't know if you know of him. He went to one of the star football players in 70 to 7, I know 71. And that's our brother Joe Hembrick. And but before we start with Joe Hembrick, in light of this being Women's History Month, Black women with a Black woman focus, we have Miss Audrey Musgrove, one of our guests tonight. And we're going to let her start with the first.
Come here.
Is that Audrey, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, I'm not ready for this. I don't know how to use this, babe. Okay.
Is this,
I'm in Rahh.
yes, is this John Musgrove?
Audrey. I'm on. I don't have Zoom on my computer, so I got on her computer, but they put her picture up on here. But
So this is John Musgrove?
Yes.
All right, well, we'll get to you.
All right, brother.
All right, we're gonna start with our brother Hembrick and let him see if you have any questions and then also tell you a little bit about his history as an athlete at Compton High also. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, appreciating Brother Rahh and Reynaldo.
Hello.
I'm Gordon Pepper's homeboy.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Matter of fact, I have the shot put record at Compton High.
Right, okay.
I was there in '69.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was there in '69 when you came back from the Olympic. You was a senior and I was just a sophomore.
Okay.
And I talked to Frank Wheaton today, and he told me to thank you for something, but I forgot what he thank you for.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Right, yeah, I gave him a person that was really in need, so he's helping.
Okay.
Thank you.
And old brother Musgrove, this is JoJo. You know me from the
Yeah, JoJo. Good to see you, brother.
All right. But anyway, Ray, appreciating, the things you're talking about. I try to stay on the health thing too. And like the walking in water is big. And from what I understand, the walking that you've been doing is probably the reason why you develop, some more of those veins that's getting the blood, throughout your body.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I got a big vegetable garden. I grow my own vegetables. I go deep in the kitchen, so I eat that. I tell people, to stop eating that stuff out them stores and these restaurants because it's full of stuff that's messing your body up, with all the soda and all other stuff that it has in there. But anyway, yeah, man, I got a late start. My wife changed the clocks and kind of threw me off. She had the clock too fast, so that's why I missed the start of the show. Apologize for that. But yeah, man, I remember when I was a young snotty-nosed sophomore. I remember you came back from the Olympics, boy. We partied something terrible for like 2 weeks. The whole I remember that distinctly. And plus the basketball thing that was going on at the time. But I remember when I was in junior high, and they used to have a Compton Cup at Compton High.
Right.
And I remember watching you, and you used to warm up by running to the football crossbar and kicking it with your toe.
Yeah, that was really a great thing for me.
Yeah, I go way back, man. So I've been a fan all these years. And I think I saw you. I think you I think Gordon brought you to one of our reunions.
He did, yeah.
Carson, I talked, and I'm also Noreen's cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I that's how I introduced myself to you when we was at the reunion that time.
Right.
It's great that athletes can refer back to the time that we were athletes, to deal with our health, today. I got a lot of brothers that just sit down on the couch and won't do nothing. And I tell them, I said, back when you was an athlete, you worked out to play, so why don't you work out to save your life?
There you go, right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what we need to do. But my thing is diet, exercise, rest, and no stress. If you keep balance, you'll be all right. Anyway,
just a lot of a little bit of movement is definitely important, boy. I tell you. Yeah.
You gotta move. And I wish I had known, because like after I finished playing football, I jogged for like 15 years. And I found out that walking, I can get the same result and take the stress off my knees from all that pounding. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Just walk back, a brisk walk. Will suffice. So anyway, I just wanted to step in there and say my little bit. I ain't gonna take too much more of the time. I know some other participants would like to speak and ask you questions, but Gordon sent me the picture, that you and him took at your book signing. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get that as soon as I can and check it out.
Well, appreciate him doing that. Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks. The next person, we got some top 8 legends on here with Musgrove and Kid Smith. I'm gonna save John for last because he's the most traveled. But Brother Ken, who was one of the most outstanding football players to come out of Compton High, and one of the, I went out to play football at Compton College, and he was a strong safety, and he was trying to show me the ropes. But when they had to run and jump on their stomach, 10 yards and you dive on your stomach, I kept running back to the gym. Hey, buddy, y'all can have it. But anyway, Ken, do you have any questions or any concerns? We can't hear you. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. You know how to turn it off? You don't have nobody to help you get the mute off? Okay, we'll get back. We'll get back to you. But that's Ken Smith, one of my good friends, who's always setting up live breakfasts and lunches and with some of the former tar babes of that era. But anyway, John.
Yes.
Come on, brother. He's John Musgrove, another Compton High, successful entrepreneur, a consultant, traveler, all over the continent, strong brother. So John, why don't you go ahead and greet your other tar babe, brother Reynaldo.
Yeah, well, I just saw him last week. I was at the book signing, and so my book just came today. So
oh, good.
I still want to get it autographed.
Right.
But the first time I saw Ray was at the district meet for the junior high schools, and they were being held at Compton High School, and the buzz was they got this ninth grader that is doing stuff that can't nobody believe. So I'm ditching class to go out here to see this phenom, and was not disappointed. I mean, it was incredible, and to see what he went on to do and accomplish, throughout his career was just outstanding. It's one of the things that we look back as tar babes and we talk about iconic figures and legends that come out of Compton High School. And Reynaldo is truly one of those legends, those phenoms that have came out of the ranks of the tar babes. And it's just good to say. And check this out, JoJo. I was talking to Ray, and he was telling me that he lived in Harbor City for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. I went to lived down there before I moved to Compton. Yeah, it was.
So did you go to Fleming or North Montana?
I don't remember the elementary school that I went to, but I know we just made those projects. It was down there. I think it was on Normby or somewhere down there. But yeah, I was down in Harbor City for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, this is Ken Smith. Sorry, John, but I just wanted to butt in because Reynaldo, my sister-in-law, was out at Harbor City. I used to go out directly off of 253rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, a small.
I guess that's where it all started, down at Harbor City.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, before they put in the what is that, Kaiser over there off of Vermont and what's the name? There used to be that little swamp there that the gator used to run through there.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I remember because heck, man, I was, as a kid in Harbor City, man, Harbor College. I mean, in the hospital, man, I was almost there every week, man. Getting hurt, and man, I remember going there a lot. One weekend, one month I stopped. I didn't go. They called my mother and asked, "Is Ray coming in this weekend?" This sometime soon. Because I stayed in Harbor City, man. The hospital down there, getting hurt. I guess experience.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Slough.
Harbor City.
Call that the slough.
Yeah.
I used to climb down in those when they was putting all the pipes and stuff down in there.
Yeah, Reynaldo, we back to Compton High. I was a senior when when you came in. I believe you were and Mike Hopwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, yeah, we used to play a lot of ball. I remember a lot of times we had some heated games, and and then you know, then who was that? Newman that came over, Dirk,
Right.
and you know I mean, and as a matter of fact, I saw you what 2 or 3 years ago up at the state meet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have plans on going up again this year?
Yeah, I do. I'm coaching at King High School out in Riverside.
Oh, Riverside, okay.
Yeah, right. And so I have 2 jumpers. Well, one of them a girl. She jumped 5'2" for me. You know, right now she's at 5'2", and I expect her to do better. And the guy I expect to do better. You know, hopefully they'll make the state meet. You know, so
Okay. Well,
we'll see what happens. You know, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Listen, you're on mute again, Ken, but John, you have any more comments? Okay.
I'll hit her back.
All right, John, you have any more comments you want to make before we go to the other guests?
No, I'm good.
Okay, then, because I got some issues.
Say hi to John.
We're gonna go with
in a minute. So how you been doing, Musgrove?
I'm good, man. Good to see you, Ken.
Yeah, it's nice seeing you and hearing you anyway. I can't see you, but it's nice hearing you. How's the missus?
Everything's going well.
Okay,
you know,
that's
hit me up, man. We can catch up.
Okay. Also, Reynaldo, when you mentioned your routine and everything, and like you say, athletes, you know, they should keep that mentality of keeping their body toned and in condition. And I got Mike Modest. I wish I wish we could reach out to him because like you say, Ray, you walk from across the room, you know, and I need somebody to help me motivate him because I live in Paramount and he lives in Inglewood, and I often all the time I say, hey, look here, man, coming by, we're gonna walk, and he's always making excuses. So I need somebody else to help me motivate him because I'm an athlete. I've always been an athlete, and I just don't believe athletes supposed to let their body go to crap.
No, we not. Well, you know, unique thing about it, he called me last week and he wanted a book. So the book came in, so I just mailed it today to Miley. So Mike, you know, I called him and let him know the book is on the way. He should get it Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
Because he said he wanted to read it and, you know, try to motivate himself. So hopefully he'll read it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, well, keep
something out of it. But yeah,
keep it lifted up because he needs us, you know, more than me to motivate.
Right. Okay.
Teamwork.
There we go.
Right, we're gonna go with the good doctor. Good doctor, you have any questions you want to raise?
Really, just a couple. It was a good story. Good to hear from you. I'm glad they brought you on. I really didn't know anything about you. I didn't follow that much, but I did a quick search when Rusky, they told me you were coming on. And only question is, I saw you, you know, you set records in high school, college. You guys won the championship, CIF championship in there when you were there. And you were quoted in an article back then saying that you rather have won the CIF championship than set any kind of records in the Olympics. But I see all your accomplishments. Can you rank all your accomplishments from the CIF championship at Compton, the 3 titles you took at the meet in Compton? You look like you won some titles in college, and you know you did your thing in the Olympics. What was the greatest accomplishment? Can you name them from can you rank them from your best to the last of all your experiences there?
Really, I think, just winning, I don't know, they all kind of mean something to me, but, doing my thing in high school, actually junior high school, my thing was, because I think that's where it all started for me. And that's when I was getting probably the flack that people were saying, you won't go no further. And, my thing was to not prove to anybody, but just show people that I was motivated to, to keep going, and to do things. So I think junior high school was my best memory of jumping because I had so much fun. And also it was so hard, it was hard to do. It wasn't an easy thing to do. And it reminded me so much of all the experiences that I went through life, because a lot of things in life that I went through wasn't easy. And all I had to do was think about trying to get past junior high school, getting out of school, for instance, getting my grades up, because if it hadn't been for sports, I think that I probably wouldn't have went any further because, I wasn't the smartest kid in school. But through sports, I knew that if I didn't get that C average, I wasn't going to jump. And it happened to me at Willowbrook when I broke the school record. And they told me I was ineligible and I couldn't jump again. And, that kind of hurt my heart. And that was the first time I think I really cried and was wondering, how can I, get past this? And so through sports, it helped me because I knew that if I love the high jump, then I can love to, get through academically, and that was like I did with sports, I practiced and all I had to do to get my grades was just practice what I didn't understand. But it didn't hit me until, I was ineligible. So those were the hard days. And once I passed that through, in junior high school, and I felt that, I can, accomplish anything I want just by working hard and just thinking about the times when I thought I couldn't do it and, and thinking of a way to do it. So, sports was just a crutch for me to get through school. And I think everybody that needs to get by something, you got to have a positive thing and a negative thing, to be, to work together and just work with, and that's all I did. I didn't want to, fail in anything. And so I, almost had to be an engineer in everything that I did. I had to just figure it out, see how I can put it together and work. And, all
You mute. You muted. There you
but
are.
that's the way I, took life. So junior high school was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, not being able to, because I wouldn't have went any further if I hadn't been for Willowbrook and being ineligible and then figuring out how can I succeed,
Okay. All right. Doc, any more?
No, that's it.
Okay, Brother Mashinda, he's there?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
All right.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah.
Brother Reynaldo Brown. Your story is very inspirational, and I appreciate you sharing with us tonight.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. Very inspirational, and I'm sure that you still have that impact on the people that you come in contact with. Your determination, tenacity, your drive is off the charts. I feel your energy, and I'm glad to be acquainted with you on this call. Did you get acquainted back at, you said it was, I want to buy the book. I see it says 1968 Olympian. Were you acquainted with John Carlos and Tommy Smith?
Oh yeah, yeah. We still talk. All of us still talk today, So the '68 team, we're always doing stuff together, and
Sure.
they
Yeah.
come out to
How was
California.
your position back then? How did you feel? During that time, I know that they saluted Black Power. What kind of effect did that have on you during that time?
Well, I was all with it, because back then, at when in '68, with so much stuff going on, with especially with Harry talking about boycotting the Olympics, and then the Kennedys, being shot, Martin Luther King being killed, and Black Panther. I mean, there was so much going on, you know. So I kind of was into news and keeping up with things, And my goal was not to go to the Olympic Games and win a medal. All I wanted to do was just be an Olympian, because at that time, black athletes, they didn't get the opportunities like the white athletes did, being commentators, getting jobs, and it's just my opinion. I saw this happening. And so when I saw how, an athlete would go to the Olympic Games and get a gold medal, come home, and then he had to just work just like a normal person would have to work. They didn't get the big entertainment stuff. The only one that did that was Muhammad Ali, and I listened to him a lot. Talking about what they didn't want the gold medals when they won them, and it didn't mean anything to them. And so I said, well, heck, I don't want a gold medal either. All I want to do is just be an Olympian and just enjoy life as an Olympian, not as a gold medal winner, because it was just that stereotype that you get a gold and you should live like this and have this. But I knew it wasn't going to happen for me. I figured I was going to go to the Olympic Games and just have to find a job, and that's what I did when I came back. My first job, working was in Huntington Park. I worked at the car wash. I went to the car wash, and not just because I was young. I had to have a job. People would see me, they would recognize, you're Olympian. What are you doing at the car wash? So the Olympics, it didn't mean any. It meant a lot to me, but it didn't mean I was going to have, what they expected me to have. I said, well, I got to make a living, and so and I really didn't, look at the Olympics as a glory thing, because I looked at all the other Olympians. Like I said, a lot of them were embarrassed because they got the medals. They didn't have the jobs that they wanted. I couldn't get what they needed, and I didn't want to live like that. I just wanted to live a natural life, and enjoy myself, and it worked out the way I did it. So I like the way I, did what I did, and if I had to do it again, I'd do it that way again. So people were kind of a little angry about me saying that why didn't I want a gold medal? Because it was just something personally that didn't want. I didn't want the gold. All I wanted to do was just participate in the Olympic Games, and I did that. So it was good the way I did it,
Mm.
to
All
me
right,
anyway.
Lucinda, any other question?
No, that'll be it. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Look forward to purchasing the
But
book.
in the book, he has a whole section dealing with the protests and the athletes and.
Oh yeah, I
I
didn't mean to cut you off. Omar, let me tell you about that Mexico City. When we got to Mexico City, the only reason Tommy and John did, we all talked about, a protest, and it was an individual thing. I just mentioned this, but the main reason we protest, when we got there, we found out that 3,400, university kids were murdered. And nobody ever talked about that. Nobody even knew about the killings of the students at the University of Mexico. So when we heard about that, then John and Tommy, they decided just to do their own protest like that. Everybody had their own protest that they was going to do. And, so it was a unity thing. It wasn't a black power thing, where just because they rose, did the fist, it wasn't just because of black folks. It was, it was for everybody, showing the unrest that, that people were having, in the world, happening to people in the world. And so it's for a united thing for everybody. It wasn't just a black power thing. They just made it a black power thing because they didn't want to talk about the killings at the University of Mexico. And you'll read about that in the book.
All right. Good, good. Again, that's something new, but I got some information on that also. Brother Rahh, who's a Compton Tar Baby, one of the most outstanding basketball players that came out under the coach Eddie Thomas. And he's the one that set this platform for us to have special guests. And we're gonna get John Musgrove on here to talk about his international travels and business organizations as soon as I can get on line on him. And I think Brother Hembrick got one, and he'll be one of our next guests. But right now, Rahh, do you have any points you want to raise?
Yeah, I do, but my aunt is here, so I wanted to see if she wanted to have make a comment or ask some questions. Hembrick's daughter.
Okay.
Hi. Yes. I just was listening in. I didn't want to make any comments. I was just happy to hear Mr. Brown's story. Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you.
I thought that was another one of Joe's. He had two computers on or something.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Just a very excellent example of how to overcome and strive. I'm very appreciative for you sharing, your story with us, and I'm happy to be here to hear it. So I wanted to ask you about the basketball. I played at Compton, and at times it just seemed like it was tough because when we came out of junior high school, we were like the tops of the tops. Like you had a good junior high experience. Brother Doctor on here and I, we played basketball and football and track. We did track, and we dominated as ninth graders. We were so dominant. Whereas if we would have took our show it seemed like we could have took it anywhere and been, had top achievement. But when we got to Compton, it seemed like it all came down. You mentioned people was telling you that, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. It seemed like we entered into a lion dens of jealousies, and it just didn't work out. It didn't work out well, and I didn't have a real good experience at Compton High, even though I was, a pretty good player and went to college on a scholarship. But I wanted to ask you about what made those teams so good? What was it about those 2 years that just made it so special?
I think it was mainly because Louis, Larry, and Demo, and the first five, and Louis, we all grew up together. Of course, everybody that played, went to Cressy Park, or and we played our games there, and wherever we played, we all, even if we went to Mona Park, Ahmad, that's where we all met you at over there, and Cressy and Mona Park. But we had those two parks, and we just traveled together and did everything together. And we kind of knew each other, I guess, And even like the 68 team, we all played, we just played together and we kind of knew each other, even if we couldn't play, because a lot of times you couldn't get in a game at Cressy Park unless you was good. We wasn't, at that stage yet. We would probably be the ball boy at Cressy Park, or if somebody didn't show up, they just let us sit there and say, pass the ball, or don't shoot. So we just, we go outside and play together, and we be, passing and talking. And if we, went to a party or something, all of us, we just hung out with each other a lot. And we got to a point where we knew each other, and we just had that, just that grab for winning, and playing basketball. We just, stayed positive. We figured that if we play together, we know where everybody is, and we just passed the ball. We may have one or two that wanted to shoot a lot, but we didn't care. Either we'll rebound or whatever, put it back or whatever. But we just had a tight knit, group, for the '69 team. The '68 team was just about the same. They hung out, and we just had to wait our turn to, do our thing too. So, and we learned for the '68 team how to, keep things going, and we just carried it over to '69. So it's just a tight knit thing where we hung out together and we just knew each other, and we wanted to win. We had a good coach too, of course, Bill Armstrong. He instilled in us that, we can do this. And we did it.
Okay, now every team has a glue guy that's just, so who would you say? Because I know Louis, I worked with Keith Lee, I worked with Hopwood. So who was the glue guy that kept everything together?
You know what? I think we all had a heart in it, where we didn't really, Larry, of course, was probably, if you had to say the best on the team, we all just knew what we had to do. And I think the more we talked and laughed, I think we all had the same attitude, as just hanging together and doing stuff together, So I don't think we really had a big leader, but if the papers, if they wrote about, what happened at Compton High School, of course, Larry would be the one that they say was the leader or whatever. But I think we all were leaders,
Okay, so you guys just had heck of a chemistry and had togetherness and all of that. That's wonderful. That's good to hear. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Let me just run a few things. First of all, Compton High had a culture of winning in basketball. They had won the championship with Joe Davis and Mike Jacobs, Harvey Dillon, and they had a tradition of either winning the championships, and they had a Compton tournament in basketball. So it was a basketball school. I wish I would have went there, but I'm glad I went to Centennial, but I still wish I would have went there because the focus was on basketball. And they came out like the Globetrotters and warming up with Sweet Georgia Brown, some intimidating stuff that they used to do to make you think they were pros, and they had talent. They had a lot of good talent. Dwight Taylor, Larry Hollifield, Tommy Campbell, who could shoot with either hand. I mean, it's not just the coaching alone, but even though Armstrong kept y'all together and Newman worked with you as you wrote in your book, he taught you how to play, gave you the drills and gave you the inspiration that you can do this. And that's what you say in the book. And that you loved his, I think he had 4 drills that he would mix up as you wrote in the book. But I just want to tell everyone, get the book. It is dynamite. And when you ask the question, what was one of the greatest achievements, and it's getting over those medical conditions. But not only that, coming out of Compton, and John Musgrove know this, Ken know this, Joe Hembrick know this, and even Rashaki know this. They didn't expect us to come out alive.
Exactly.
We were supposed to be the dope head, shot, murdered, or in prison, walking around with no shirt on, are either affiliated with either the Swamps or the Lazy Loafers or one of the sets and things of this nature. And those were some big high schools in them days at that time. And I'm talking about the drill team. I mean, you think you was at Grambling, brother, when they came out there to battle. And we used to have what they call exchange talent shows. The competition and the rivalry between Centennial and Compton. You had your own stadium called Ramsar that hosted the Compton Cup in track. I mean that was historic, you know. And you came out with Euless Williams and other individuals that stood out in track and athletes. So Compton High was the centerpiece of producing many great athletes that went on, like Reynaldo, and did great things. And his book outlined, you have to read because it starts out when he was young, how he went through all these different schools, how he met his wife, how he dealt with all the medical issues. And then at the same time, he talks about the Olympics. He talks about his great coaches, his great friends that he met, and how they stayed connected and then related. His community activities, his activities with professional organizations and service groups. It is outstanding read. And once you start reading it, it flows. So him and Carol did a good job of letting it flow and things of this nature. And so it's just an excellent read. And I urge everyone, and even when we blast this, and if you get the book, you know, we always having reunions with Arthur Levias or somebody. We'll have a picnic where everybody gets together, take the book. Reynaldo gonna be there. Him and his wife make every step. You understand? Like you said, if there's somewhere to go, Reynaldo going. And so that's what he wrote in the book. That's what they said about him in the book. Beautiful family with grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I mean, it's just full of things that make you want to just enjoy yourself and you emerge in it because you begin reflecting on your own personal life. Reynaldo gave me a lot of advice about dialysis. I do my best to try to follow it. But you know, man, I'm straight out the hood. I fall off the wagon and I get back on it. But boys, it's rough because he's a disciplinarian. You understand? He got that discipline. I don't, you know, hey, you know, but
well, you know, it's, you know, being on dialysis is a scary thing, you know, and you know, you hear so much.
It's a depressing thing for me.
Well, you want it to happen. You want it to happen right away, and it ain't gonna happen right away. It's gonna take a minute, you know. And that's the thing that we have to go through.
When I see Ken, and now I see John and his wife has done some magnificent things in the community and throughout Long Beach, and his trips to Africa and his businesses that he emerged in. I mean, a lot of great things come out of Compton.
Rahh, can you hear me? Let me. I can't get out of here without, you know, you bringing up the '66 Compton basketball team with Eli Curtis and Bobby Watkins and James.
Ron Knight. James Dunn. You know, great. But Freddie Dunn was just as crazy as everybody.
True that. But you know, you guys all around the '66 team. You know, they took took state too.
Okay. Compton High?
That's right.
Yeah, okay. I know they cheated us out of going. But anyway, you know, but hey, we're the last team that beat Compton High before they went on. That night, I hit the last shot. I just want to bring that up. But we was intimidated, very intimidated, because you had so much talent. But I just want to say about this book. I mean, when he tells you about the Olympics, when he went there and how they had to get acclimated to the conditions and the situation. It's just a beautiful read. And I just want to thank Reynaldo for agreeing. As soon as I got the book, because as soon as I heard that he had the book, I couldn't make it to the book signing. But I called Reynaldo, I said, congratulations. And I tried to order the book through Barnes and Noble. They thought it'd take 2 weeks, a week. You had to join their membership and get, no. So I went on Amazon, I got it in 3 days, and I have not stopped. I've not put it down. I mean, I love it, man. I just want to tell you, thank you for being on. And we're going to put this on our website. Rashiki has recommendations for me. We're going to do that. And second, I'm going to every time I get a chance, I'm going to put it on my Facebook announcement.
I appreciate that.
And urge everyone I can. As we get
Well,
ready.
I just want to tell you one other thing. I got a call from Barnes and Noble yesterday, and they were so grateful and happy that, you know, that book signing, you know, that we had last week, couple of weeks ago. They want us to do another one, and we have a date. So it'll be April the 2nd. So if you get a book or don't have a book, you can come April the 2nd, buy a book, or bring your book for me to sign it. But they really want me to do it again at Barnes and Noble on April the 2nd.
Which Barnes and Noble is that?
That's in the one in Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga, okay.
And that's on a Saturday.
That's on a Saturday.
What time?
They want to do it from I think 1 to 4.
1 to 4?
Okay.
I'll see you there.
I'll send the address out to you, you know, again, for those who don't have the address. But April the 7th, I'll be doing another book signing there. And because at this last one they had, the book sold out before it even started. You know, we was on our way, Carol and I was on our way there, and they told us, "Oh, can you bring some more books? We sold out." So all the ones they ordered, they sold out. But people were able to buy books there, you know, at Barnes and Noble. And so, you know, if it happened again, you can order them from Barnes and Noble right there. But when you get them, you know, I'll make it my point to come out and autograph for you.
Well, I'll see you on the 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah, I may ride out there too after dialysis. But let me just say this. Rashiki, you want to announce who we, first of all, Paul, John, Ken, and Reynaldo, we are on every Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
And if you have someone that you think have a story that we could get out to the community, and y'all are welcome to join us. We have deep discussions with Joe Hembrick with regards to history, religion, and spirituality. And we have deep health things with Brother Rashiki. We have courageous questioning by the good doctor, Mashinda. We have, this is a Women's History Month, and I didn't know Maad was on. I thought that was another one of Joe's, had 2 computers, but this is it, History Month. People don't know that the Black women in 1968 also protested.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was a sister that won the gold medal in 64 and in 68.
Yeah.
And she wore blue,
Wyoming tires, yeah.
Wyoming tires. She wore dark blue pants when she won the race. And the sisters that won the relay gold medal dedicated their medals to Carlos and them. And people forget the white boy from Australia that was on the stand with him, who also did a protest. And he died, and John and Tommy, who I know personally also, went to his funeral and gave him respect for even encouraging and supporting. I really believe he gave them the black glove. Because one had a right one on, one had a left one on, and he is the one that encouraged it, that they do something. So I don't know how deep that was, but I may be wrong. But
You're right. You're right. You're right.
so those are the things that we need to go into. And I want to get some more information on those 32 kids that died. I see you want, Joe, you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, real quick. I want to holler at one of my neighborhood legends, Ken Smith. Last time I talked to you was at Mike Owens' funeral.
Mike Owens.
Joe Hembrick.
Hey, how you doing?
I used to coach with Philosopher Brown, your boy Al Brown.
Yeah, Alfred, yeah.
Yeah, and I used to shine shoes up in the square when I was 12, 13 years old. And I used to talk to your father all the time.
Yeah, he ran that square. He ran that square.
Yeah, I witnessed the many arguments that he had up there. And when he leave to go home and get you, I would tell them guys, man, you better get the hell out of here. Kids to come up here. You better get on your way. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight at you about that, man. I think last time I talked to you was at Mike Owens' replay.
Right.
And the beautiful thing about coming up in Compton when we was coming up, we played with each other, not machines.
Right.
And we walked to the party.
Yeah.
And we walked downtown Compton to the movie show.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of fun at the drive-in, broke up a lot of speakers, drove off with a lot of speakers. You understand? So we had a relationship that's different than this new generation.
Exactly.
Technology.
Exactly.
And I mean, you know, if you had a fight, it was a fist fight most of the time.
Right.
And then, you know, the next day, y'all be cool. But anyway, Rahh, you want to go ahead and close us out with what's going to be on? And John, I got to get in contact with you. I'll get your number and stuff because I want to get you on as soon as possible because I've been reading your Facebook, brother, and following you. You know, you got stuff that we need to learn about in your experience.
Joe, Joe got all my information.
All right, I'll get it from you.
All right.
And tell your house, your wife, I said hello.
I will.
Because her and Carmen Abdullah was good friends. Yeah, that's right. All right. Go ahead, Rashiki.
Okay, we're gonna have to postpone the show for Wednesday because I have back to school. Well, it's an open house. And then my daughter was supposed to be the guest. And I try to postpone it to 8 o'clock.
He has back to school night.
And she wanted to go ahead and just postpone it. So she's gonna come on, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Rahh, you can hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so she will come on June 1st, and then we have another Compton High graduate that's coming on the 23rd, and that's Miss Bonita Meeks, and she's going to be talking about real estate. Her daughter was on a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. So she'll be on another Compton High graduated in 75. So we keeping it Compton around here at times. So, okay, so each one teach
next Monday, we're going to have Cliff Pruitt, who played basketball, and he's been doing a lot of work in reparations, and he has a plan that he wants to discuss part 2 of his plan. He was on before about reparations, you know, the repairing us from the Holocaust of enslavement. And so he'll be on. And then we're just gonna keep on flowing with the community and keep on flowing. And like I said, Reynaldo, John, and Ken, if you know anybody that you think we can get on the show, and then y'all can tune in anytime you want. You're a welcome guest all the time. And you know, this is how we do it. We just flow. And trying to use this technology to reach the community. And Reynaldo, this book helps a lot of people. when you talk about walking and exercising and how you overcome the challenges of health, I'm talking about heart, prostate, and kidney, and then overcome the doubters, as you said in the book, that didn't believe you'd make the team, and then didn't believe you're gonna do anything when you got there, and you made them all bag up. So we want to thank you again. The grains of sand are few compared on the ocean floor compared to the many thanks we offer you, Reynaldo, and we hope to keep in contact. And you can tune in to find out who's on the show by going to Community Education Network and just scroll down. And if it's somebody interested and you want to hear, and when we do get John Musgrove on, we're gonna put a blast out like we did for you, Reynaldo. So thank you, everybody. This was a beautiful set. It was a beautiful thing to have the connections with all the beautiful people. Thank you. All right then.
Appreciate you.
All right. Each one teach one, Conscious Corner. Have a good evening.
All right then.
Thank you.
Good.